The other thing, yeah, is I want to find a. I might have to, splurge for a camera because I would really love to record all this, even though there'll probably be all kinds of copyright strikes. But if I can throw in like five or six of my own tunes, that's a great opportunity. And I've got two ready to go. A third one that if I can do the bass, I think it would just people would be they wouldn't be they're not going to be expecting it. And it's kind of like I have this anticipation. I'm like, I said, Brian, when you see what I do, you won't be disappointed. It's going to be different from what he does, but we're going to have to see how we're going to make it work together. And personalities are, I think, is the biggest, always your biggest hurdle, even over the instrumentation or the whatever. It's always the hurdle of ego that most people know we're doing this and that. There was another guy I was talking to earlier in the year, and he's kind of one of those, no, we're doing it this way and that's it and whatever. This guy seems like he open for anything, right? So the more easygoing people are, the easier it is to get things out there and do things and stuff like that. So yeah, so the world's longest guitar string, 12-string guitar string changed, is now accomplished. So the guitar is nice and cleaned up. The fretboard's oiled. I just got to tune it up and figure out what tuning I'm going to keep it in. Give myself some options of being in drop C sharp. I'll just use the capo. Yes, I'd rather have the guitar ring out naturally, but it gives me options in case, because a lot of country guys are a half step down as well, right? So to get that really low voice, you know what I mean? And you might not know that until you play along, if I am playing along with some jam tracks. And he said he's done it a few times where he brings in instruments and they play over the tracks that's already there, because he goes, it's like, it's just basic guitar that's there. You can do wail whatever you want, but you have to do it within the rigidity of, the actual, independent tracks or whatever, or the track. So again, I don't know how I feel about that. I like the idea of a pure acoustic show, but maybe this will be something that will work extremely well because it seems to be working well for him. And it's something I can just kind of grift onto and, might make a couple of bucks out of it. I'll have fun no matter what way I go. But I'm really looking to showing off my 12-string skills because I haven't had a chance to really, I very rarely get a chance to really show people what I can do on the 12-string, in context of a song, not me just noodling on the internet where I don't practice anything and I just, how does this sound? But like a well-rehearsed show, something you're not expecting coming in, and all of a sudden it's like, I just start going nuts on the 12 string. And it's like, I've had 12 string player after 12 string player after 12 string player come up to me and go, how do you do that? It goes like 12 string, everybody, all the guitar players, I love the sound of a 12 string, but I don't like them. They're too hard to play. And then especially one guy, he looked at my action last year after I did the Atlas thing. And again, for a metal guy, I've heard harder riffs than that. Yeah. But for somebody who doesn't normally hear riffs like that, kind of like a neoclassical heavy riff like that, and then you look at was played on the action about that high off the fretboard, you're like, how did he do that? And still make it sound relatively smooth. Now I got the action where I can do that relatively smooth, right? So that's my goal, is to, give people some razzle dazzle and, give them some, interesting vocals too. So I've got quite a few songs that I can do. I'll see which ones I'm going to do, and I'm going to go from there. But for now, I'm going to walk away from this guitar because of all the frustrations it did. Like I want to tune it up, but I'm like, nah, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm going to look at this thing till tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'll tune it up and get it all ready and all that. And again, I won't play it too much, other than, rehearsing a bit on it to make sure break in the strings enough so that I know the guitar's going to stay stable, test the pickup. I'm probably going to order a second one because I have no backup. That pickup has to work in both guitars. So to pull it out of that guitar and put it in that guitar. So like I say, I might do the whole show with just that guitar just because of the pain in the ass of trying to take that out and put it into there. But I'd like to have that guitar there. Not because it's a great guitar, but it gives me an option of different tunings, right? Where this, I'm going to tune it and leave it and then just use the capo to figure out where I want to go. Yeah, so very excited. My goal, guys, has been for years is to be a professional musician and stuff like that. And I've been off and on about it. And it's one of those things where it doesn't matter what you play live. That's one thing I've learned. And it's not what you play live, it's how well you play it. And it's like I was telling Brian this morning. I said, well, when I'm here in my room, okay, well, the music room's over there, but when I'm there in the room, okay, I'm a musician first. When I'm learning a song, I'm a musician first. When I'm recording a song, I'm a musician first. But when I'm on stage, I'm an entertainer first. And that philosophy is worked well for my stage presence and stuff like that. And I've always had people compliment my stage presence and stuff like that. And when you have somebody walk up to you, and I'm not saying I'm the greatest or anything like that, but just when somebody doesn't normally hear your genre of music or whatever, and a guy this year at the fish fry come up to me, he goes, Reg, he goes, what you did last year, he goes, I never heard anything that good live in my life. You know, like this guy doesn't go to like, like the bar is this high, but for him, he's always heard just the old timer music, right? So and I've had that with the mandolin and stuff like that, where people are just like, wow, that thing you did about the battleship, do the Bismarck song by Sabaton, and with the mandolin, they're like, when they heard that, they were just like, that was the coolest thing I've ever heard. You know what I mean? And it's because it's just something different. You know what I mean? So when you give them something different, give them something different, but make sure you play it as well as you can, and give them the theatrics with it. Hit them with everything. You know what I mean? So that's what I was telling Brian. I said, we can work out a show to be as acoustic as possible, or if you want as many tracks, a little column A, a little column, the more variety, the better. I would really, really love it if we can get two acoustic guitars just motoring away on there. Nothing set in stone, just kind of like, okay, we're going to do the song. One maybe that he sings or I sing, it doesn't matter. I prefer, or maybe Amanda sings, and then what I tell Amanda, like, I'm going to be doing whittly diddlies, and then whittly diddly means shredding, you know what I mean? And she goes, okay, yeah, you do your whittly diddlies. Like for her, she's pretty, it's like I explained it to her when we started jamming a couple of years back. And we haven't since. So like getting together with her is also going to be a challenge too, because again, we've got 30 days to pull this off. But I want to pick songs that they already know. If you know the lyrics by the back of, like, better than anything, go with that, because it'll be easier for me to learn the guitar parts than it will be to learn vocal parts, right? And so that's what her and I were doing. But I always told her, and it's the same thing I tell Brian. I said, when you're playing the song, even if you play the song exactly the way it is on the record on the acoustic guitar, it's the difference is that you have just one instrument and there's no other fill-in instruments, so it sounds differently. That's the thing. Like I'm not going to call him a karaoke singer, because he's not necessarily a karaoke singer. He does play instruments. It's just he prefers just to do the singing, is what the way he explains it to me, right? So he's just like, yeah, no, because he goes, it's nice to it's nice with the campfire kind of sound with it, just the acoustic guitar and the voice, but he goes, I can't really nail the voice when I'm playing the guitar. Now, I understand what he's saying. When you sing songs that were written playing and singing at the same time versus songs where the person was just singing over a played guitar, it is a different animal. And it does sound different. You usually have to kind of modify either the vocals to fit the guitar or the guitar to fit the vocals, right? And so it's one of those things that for him, it's the Johnny Cash impersonation thing that he's got down. And the only way he can really, 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 really nail it so much is, and people compliment him on it all the time, is like, wow, you sound just like that recording, is that he goes to the nuance of it. And if you understand what I'm saying there, like he's technical about sounding just like him. Not he sounds like him. No, he sounds exactly like him. Every little, he's got it worked out, right? Kind of about how I kind of do the guitar thing, you know what I mean? Where it's like I do all these crazy things that I got worked out, so when you hear it, you're like, wow, you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that. Not hopefully that's the last string change for a while, but those strings were on there for probably well over a year, I'm sure, 2 years maybe. So maybe I deserve all the hassle I got today. it's so easy to get frustrated on stuff like that, but you got to just take it with a stride. But I'm gonna get everything going. Hopefully, this guitar's main first show, not first time on stage, but its first real show, um, is going to be a hit, and we'll see how well that pickup we can make it sound. It's not going to sound great, but it's the playing, guys. Never worry about chasing tone. Worry about how well the thing plays, because that's 99% of it. Anyway, there we go. We'll have a look at it. Looks nice, all shined up, except for I put my paw prints on it, mangling it, trying to get the strings back on. And yeah, there we go. So, yeah, maybe I'll go play my mandolin for a bit.